I know that many of you have been watching my channel for a while and you're well aware of the fact that I like time management, I like productivity, and I like time hacks. So in this video, I'm going to break down my top 5 productivity tips and time hacks that you can implement in your life. Let's get into the vlog. So the first and one of the most important things that I do recommend for you to be productive is to get enough sleep, and that means something different for each and every one of us. So for me, as you can tell, as I've pitched on this channel a lot, I wake up very early, which means, you don't get as much sleep when you get up early. Like, things happen, you try to get enough sleep in comparison to the rest of the world, but I don't get bad sleep or less sleep than most. I just don't need a crazy amount, so I usually average around 7. Some people need more, some people need 9. Whatever it is you need, make sure you get that amount. You'll know based on how your body tells you, but that's one of the main tips that I can recommend to you guys to being more productive, because being more productive means being awake, means being alert, means having your mind sharp. And the only way that you can do that without insane amount of caffeine is getting the right amount of sleep. Hey, you like it when I play the Ready to Cooking as my own?
Oh yeah, man. Give me my respect, though.
So my second recommendation when it comes to productivity tips would be to time block. I actually have been doing it for nearly 2 years now, and it's been one of those things that has helped me take my productivity, my time management, and everything that comes with those to the next level. I actually have gotten a chance to get on the time blocking train. I actually helped him make a schedule the other day, and I'm hoping that it'll work well for him and that maybe we'll discuss this on the podcast sometime. But I really recommend you check out my video on time blocking if you haven't already. A whole video dedicated to why you should utilize it, and I definitely would recommend that you take your days, block your schedule out into different time blocks, and you will find yourself being much more productive than if you otherwise hadn't. So one of the main things that I actually recommend you guys do when it comes to multitasking is something that's a little bit different. So first and foremost, multitasking is not the greatest thing in the world. I'm fully aware of that. However, there are some things that you are required to do in some circumstances that don't take a lot of mental effort on the physical side and the mental side as well. So there are some studies showing that our brain has an overall capacity to pay attention. There's something that we were talking about on the Price Productive podcast recently, and if you're utilizing one aspect of your brain, which is more of the word-based, sort of focused on what's being said, what you're reading, what you're writing, you can't do that at the same time as you're listening to music that has words. You don't want to counteract those two different types of things at the same time. However, when you are doing a physical task like cleaning, cleaning is actually the main one, and you just saw me doing it. I was actually listening to the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, which was something that I needed to do for the podcast, as Chance and I think at this point, after this video is out, may have already reviewed it and the podcast has been posted. If not, it's the next one. And essentially what I was doing was a physical task and a mental task at the same time. Now, the cleaning may have suffered. I was focusing more on the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. However, I really did need to focus on the audiobook. However, I wasn't gonna just sit there and do nothing. I kind of get antsy when I do that. And being able to do some physical tasks that can free up parts of your day will be very positive to your productivity. So I don't have to clean for a few days now because I did that. And I'm not saying it's gonna be the greatest cleaning job in the world, but I can do that and listen to the audiobook at the same time. I've honestly had a lot cleaner of a space since I've listened to audiobooks and have been doing sort of mental tasks like that at the same time as physical tasks, and it really just frees up time, makes your place cleaner if you choose to do that, and it's honestly great overall. You can do it while doing laundry and other things like that as well. Maybe even cooking. Cooking is another option that I would consider to be something you can kind of, if you know what you're doing for the cooking recipe, you can do both at the same time. So another thing that I would recommend is that you set screen time limits on your phone. So this phone, first and foremost, when I'm working at the desk here, is thrown over on my bed because there is no reason to be on it in the first place. However, people do have situations in their life where they just want to be on their phone, and that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna act like it's not going to happen. So what you can do to limit the amount of time you spend on your screen is set screen time limits. So I actually have something called downtime set on my phone where at 9 p.m. I am not able to pretty much access anything outside of texting, and I don't have a choice otherwise. I have podcasts, I think, enabled, maybe music, and texts and phone calls and that kind of stuff. And that doesn't reactivate until 7 a.m. So when I get up in the morning, I really can't do anything. Besides work on stuff on my computer or listen to a podcast and unwind for the morning. So with that being said, I really do recommend you try this out. It's very simple. You can do this on, I know for sure, iOS. I'm not sure about Android, but I'm positive that there are apps that you can use to make yourself not be able to access different apps. On all devices, including your computer, you can do different things to make sure that you're not accessing different social media platforms while you're on your computer. And it honestly is going to be one of those things that changes your life and gets you back into a state of pre-modern social media, which honestly I think people were more productive and happy overall when that was the case. And last but not least, something that I will always recommend people do when it comes to trying to increase their productivity is task batch. So when we do the same type of task in a row, for example, if you're in a writing mode, you should keep writing. So if I'm gonna write a blog post, it'd be great if I could keep my workday going and write a script right after, or something to that effect. If I want to record, I should keep recording. If I'm recording podcasts, I should record a video right after. Something in that regard where you're keeping that same mindset. If you have to make phone calls at work, do meetings right after. Do something where you are going to continue to keep talking, continue in that social aspect. If you need to just hunker down and get some work done, get some cold calling in, whatever it is, try to keep that process the same throughout the day. And in each day, task batching actually helps something else. If you task batch and do something like recording, right? If I only record all my videos in one day, then I actually yearn to go and do that same type of task the next week if I do enjoy it. So for me, I like writing in some aspects, but I don't want to write every day. So if I write once a week, all my blog posts, that means the next time I have to write, I'll be like, okay, I really enjoyed it last time. It's been a week and I'm ready to write again. That's a great thing about task batching. Also, it decreases buffer time and decreases that 20-minute gap that you usually take to refocus on a new type of task. So with that being said, those are my top 5 productivity tips. I recommend that each and every one of you try these out if you have the time. Just kidding, that was a time management joke. No, but seriously, try them out when you get the chance. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.